Thanks for tuning back in to day 6 of our 4th anniversary celebration. The days are counting down and we're fast approaching Monday, June 10th, when we'll be unveiling an amazing new whiskey that will truly blow you away. If you want to see it first, sign up for our online launch party by clicking the link below. Today we'll be highlighting one of the oldest, yet smallest of Japanese distilleries. It's also the only Japanese distillery located near the sea, which brings in some really interesting flavors you don't find in other Japanese whiskeys. While its carefully crafted and highly limited bottles might not be prevalent outside the country, it's a local favorite with a prominent place in whiskey cabinets across Japan. If you haven't guessed it yet, we're talking about Eigashima or White Oak Distillery. The story of Eigashima begins a really long time ago, all the way back in 1679 as a brewer named Urabi Hikachi that focused on producing sake and sochu, the two most traditional Japanese spirits. Located in the western part of Akashi in an area that was referred to as Nada or open sea, the brewery was blessed with fine spring water and prosperous fields that made it an ideal location for producing spirits. The location and expert craftsmanship established the company as the premier producer for sake and sochu. They really built quite a name for themselves. So much so that they spearheaded a rather ambitious effort in 1888 when they convinced 4 other brewers in the area to merge together. This collection of 5 brewers became known as Eigashima Brewing Company Limited and was founded as a public company, a groundbreaking step at the time, and it's believed to have been the first in the Hyogo prefecture. These moves immediately positioned the group as a major player in the Japanese economy. While the sake and sochu business continued to grow, the Urabi family started to explore a new opportunity in the early 1900s. Driven by a love for the excellent Scotch whiskies that were starting to be sold in Japan, they had the foresight to begin exploring whiskey production for themselves, and in 1919 became the first Japanese company to obtain a license to produce whiskey. With the license in hand, Eigashima started exploring whiskey production, using their existing brewing facilities to learn the process. While they were the first to have a license to produce whiskey, it would be some time before they would begin full-scale production. In fact, both the Yamazaki and Yochi distilleries would start whiskey production first. However, after much hard work and dedication, Eigashima began releasing their first whiskey expressions to the local Japanese market in 1960. For the next 2 decades, Eigashima would continue to slowly grow the business, and in the early 1980s, as the Japanese economy started to really take off, they decided it was time to get more serious about whiskey production. It was time for a dedicated whiskey distillery. This resulted in the construction of the White Oak Distillery in 1984 on the same premises as Eigashima's brewing facilities. As with so many of Eigashima's processes, the distillery was constructed based on Scottish design with the original stills constructed in Scotland. The new distillery allowed Eigashima to produce even better spirits and begin producing more of it to meet growing demand. The distillery focused exclusively on making blended whiskey up until 2007 when it introduced its first single malt to the lineup sold under the Akashi White Oak label. From then on, the distillery has continued to grow, but has remained committed to producing smaller quantities of whiskey. This allowing them to retain the focus on quality that has been so instrumental to their success. Even today, amidst the boom in demand for Japanese whiskey, the distillery employs just 5 full-time employees who only produce whiskey in the summer months, with the winter months being used for sake production. With this said, production volumes continue to grow as demand and distribution expand. In 2019, the company has increased output by more than 10%, which is quite notable for a distillery of this size. When you taste Eigashima whiskey, you can feel the attention to detail that has been placed into each drop. It has slightly salty notes from the sea, a very crisp and smooth spirit that allows the full effects of the cask to be showcased. The company takes great pride in continuing to be run by the Urabe family, as it has been for more than 3 centuries. A quite incredible achievement. It strives to adhere to the traditional methods of whiskey production in what has become almost a lost art form. Eigashima isn't just another mass-produced expression. Each bottle is created with the utmost care by the small team of craftsmen who have made production of Japanese spirits their legacy. Anyone with a passion for Japanese culture and history will appreciate the impeccable flavor profile of each of their whiskeys. In order to honor Eigashima, let's take a look at 5 of our favorite expressions. At number 1 is the Kiku. We might be a bit partial as this was our first exclusive bottling, but we think this is one of the most spectacular expressions ever released. The Kiku combines the remarkable liquid from Eigashima with maturation in a Port Ellen cask. This is a truly historic marriage combining the future of Japanese whiskey with an iconic Scottish distillery of the past. The historic nature of this whiskey deserved an equally impressive presentation. This is a remarkable bottle that has been designed to exude luxury from every angle, even including a handcrafted wooden stand. This is a showcase piece that is truly beautiful inside and out. At number 2 is Akashi White Oak Single Malt 10-year-old. A great single malt that has spent 10 years in a sherry butt cask, bringing forth abundant dried fruit, sherry wine, and winter spice. Think raisins and plums, followed by richness and spice. Intense and unique, and some of the best whiskey ever produced by Akashi, this is a whiskey you don't want to miss. And if that's not enough, each bottle even includes a white oak cork coaster as a bit of an added touch. At number 3 is White Oak Akashi 3-year-old sake cask. This is an interesting expression as it was matured in a cask that previously contained sake and is only available at the distillery itself. It's a single cask whiskey that brings sweet and fruity characteristics that are unusual for an expression that's been aged just 3 years. And on the subject of age, don't let the 3 years fool you. This is a delightful, complex whiskey that brings all the best qualities of Eigashima together with the obvious and incredible influence of the sake cask being the star of the show. At number 4 is White Oak Akashi 5-year-old red wine cask. Another opportunity to experience an Eigashima liquid matured in a different cask type. This one was matured for 5 years in a red wine cask. Once again, the best traits of Eigashima whiskey, the smooth, clean spirit, light fruity notes, and subtle sea salt, mingle in a spectacular fashion. Where this one stands out is on the palate and finish, where the cherries and a range of rich fruits from the red wine cask make themselves known. A really great expression for those that prefer richer, fruitier whiskeys. At number 5 is Akashi White Oak Limited Edition 5-year-old. Here's an exciting expression that's been aged in 2 different cask types, which brings about some really unique flavors. It was aged for 3 years in an American oak cask and 2 years in a sherry cask. A combination that you can tell was carefully planned immediately after you take the first sip. It starts with vanilla and citrus from the bourbon before melting dark chocolate, sultanas, and sticky sherried sweetness make themselves known. Soft oak and malt appear on the finish, lasting until you're ready to take another sip, which surely won't be long. Thanks for tuning in again. We hope you enjoyed this brief introduction to Eigashima. We hope to see you back tomorrow. And remember, if you haven't signed up for our online launch party on June 10th yet, make sure to save your seat now using the link below.